You've been misreading her this entire time. Not because you're not paying attention, because you're paying attention to the wrong things. You're watching what she says. You're listening to her words. And words are the least honest thing about a human being. The human brain runs on subconscious signals, neural patterns that fire before conscious thought even begins. Before she decides how to feel about you, her body has already decided, and it's been telling you. You just didn't know the language. That changes today. What you're about to learn isn't pickup artistry. It's not manipulation. It's neuroscience. It's evolutionary psychology. It's the raw, unfiltered signal beneath the noise of every interaction you've ever had. Sign number 7, the one most men never even notice, might be the most important thing you've ever learned about human attraction. Pay attention. There are 12 signals. Each one is subtle. Each one is subconscious. And together, they form a picture no amount of conversation can fake. Let's start at the beginning. Sign number 1, the gaze that lingers longer than it should. Most people misunderstand eye contact, they think it's just confidence. A simple act of holding someone's gaze, but what they don't realize is that the human brain has limits. Invisible boundaries. In normal social interaction, eye contact lasts only a few seconds. Then something automatic happens, the mind sends a signal to look away. Not because you want to, but because your nervous system is trying to protect you. Too much eye contact can feel like exposure. Like being seen too clearly, so when she holds that gaze longer than expected, something deeper is happening. Her brain isn't following the usual rules anymore, it has paused the instinct to disengage. Why? Because, on some level she hasn't verbalized. She has marked you as important. This kind of gaze, prolonged, slightly intense, almost still, is not random. It's what psychologists call sustained attention. And when it's mutual, it becomes something even more powerful, a silent exchange. But here's the part most men miss: the moment she becomes aware of it, she breaks it, quickly, often looking down, and that downward glance. It's not rejection. It's not disinterest, it's exposure. For a split second, she allowed something real to show, and her body reacted before her mind could cover it. If you learn to recognize that sequence, the hold, the pause, the sudden break, you begin to see what most people never notice. Sign number 2, when her body starts echoing yours. There's a conversation happening beneath words, you can't hear it. But it's there. Your brain and hers are constantly exchanging signals through behavior. At the center of this is something called mirror neurons, a system designed to connect people without language. When attraction begins, this system activates automatically. She starts aligning with you, not consciously, not intentionally. Her body begins to reflect yours, you lean slightly forward. And moments later, she does the same, you adjust your posture. She subtly follows, you touch your face. Her hand drifts toward hers. This is called micromimicry, and it doesn't happen because she's trying to impress you. It happens because her nervous system is syncing with yours. Think of it like two frequencies slowly tuning into the same signal. If you want to test it, don't force anything, just shift slightly, wait, watch. If she follows, even in a small, almost invisible way, you're no longer just two people talking, you're two systems responding to each other. Sign number 3, the invisible pull of proximity. Space reveals truth. Every human being carries an invisible boundary around them. A personal territory that others are not allowed to cross without permission. When someone enters that space without invitation, it feels uncomfortable, but when attraction is present, those boundaries change. She doesn't just allow closeness, she creates it, not dramatically, not obviously, but in small, almost unnoticeable ways. A slight step closer, a chair moved just a little in your direction, choosing to stand near you when she has every option not to. This is what you need to understand: attraction doesn't always move forward in big gestures, sometimes it drifts, quietly, like gravity, and when she is the one closing that distance, without being asked, without being guided, it means something very specific. Her body has already made a decision her words haven't caught up to yet. Sign number 4, when she faces you completely. In the natural world, the front of the body is the most vulnerable area, it's where the vital organs are, which is why humans, like animals, instinctively protect it. We angle away, we close off, we shield, unless we feel safe. When she turns fully toward you, not just her face, but her entire body, something important has happened internally. Her system has categorized you as non-threatening, but more than that, as someone worth opening up to. Watch her feet, they rarely lie. If her body is engaged in a group conversation, but her feet remain pointed toward you, you already have her attention. Watch her shoulders. Open shoulders signal receptivity, angled shoulders signal hesitation. These are not conscious choices, they are reflections of internal alignment, and when everything faces you, her torso, her stance, her orientation, it means her focus has narrowed. Out of everyone around, her system has selected you. Sign number 5, when her hands try to calm what you trigger, attraction doesn't always look confident, sometimes it looks like regulation. When emotions rise, excitement, nervousness, anticipation, the body seeks balance. And one of the fastest ways it does that is through touch, but not your touch, her own. Her fingers drift to her neck, her collarbone, her wrist, her hair. These are sensitive areas, places where the body can ground itself. This isn't performance, this isn't something she's doing to impress you, it's something her nervous system is doing to stabilize itself, because something about your presence has elevated her state. The more often it happens, the clearer the signal becomes, especially when those movements repeat. Around the same areas, the neck, the collarbone, places closely tied to vulnerability, she's not just reacting, she's adjusting. To you, sign number 6, the moment her face reacts before she can control it. There is a fraction of a second where truth escapes, before composure, before control, before she becomes aware of how she should respond. In that brief window, her face speaks honestly. It's called the eyebrow flash, a movement so fast most people never notice it. When she sees you, unexpectedly, naturally, her eyebrows lift slightly, her eyes open just a bit wider. It's subtle, almost invisible, but it's real, and more importantly, it's automatic. This reaction happens before social behavior steps in, which means it hasn't been filtered, it hasn't been adjusted, it's pure. You only catch it if you pay attention to the very first moment she notices you. Miss that moment, and it's gone. But if you see it, you've witnessed her unguarded response. Sign number 7, when her voice changes without her realizing. Words can be controlled, tone is harder to fake. When attraction shifts the emotional environment, the voice follows, not dramatically, but enough. It becomes softer, slower, sometimes even slightly deeper, because when a conversation moves from casual to personal, the body reflects that shift. She's no longer speaking to fill space, she's speaking to connect. And there's another layer most people overlook: when she starts adding more detail than necessary, when she expands on things you didn't even ask about. That's not random. The brain does that when it wants to keep something going, when it doesn't want the moment to end. Her language stretches, because she's trying to stay in the interaction. Sign number 8, when she adjusts herself because you're there. Across nature, attraction triggers presentation. Birds adjust feathers, animals shift posture, humans do the same thing in their own way. When she becomes aware of your presence, watch closely. A quick adjustment of her hair, a subtle correction of posture, a brief check of how she looks. These actions are not about vanity, they're about readiness. Her system is preparing, optimizing, without her even thinking about it. But context matters. If she's been doing it all day, it means nothing. If it happens the moment you enter her awareness, that's when it becomes meaningful, because now, you are the trigger. Sign number 9, when her laughter becomes physical. Not all laughter is real, some of it is social, polite, minimal, but genuine laughter. It involves the whole body. Her head moves, her shoulders react, she might lean toward you, or even touch you briefly. That kind of laughter isn't about the joke, it's about connection. People laugh more at presence than humor, at alignment more than words. So when she laughs fully, even at things that aren't particularly funny, what she's really expressing is this: I feel good here. I want to stay in this moment. And the body doesn't fake that easily. Sign number 10, when your breathing falls into the same rhythm. This is one of the quietest signals, and one of the most powerful. when two people connect deeply, their bodies begin to synchronize, heart rate, energy, and most subtly, breathing. You won't notice it in loud environments. You won't see it in chaotic moments, but in stillness, in pauses, in silence between words. If her breathing begins to match yours, that's not coincidence, that's alignment, because breathing operates below conscious control. You can't force it naturally, so when it happens, it means her system has settled into yours. Sign number 11, what she does when you're not around. The strongest signals often appear in absence. Because when there's no pressure to perform, only genuine interest remains. Pay attention to her behavior digitally, not obsessively, but observantly. She replies faster than expected, even when she's busy. She reaches out without a clear reason. She sends things, videos, thoughts, random pieces of her day, not because she has to, but because you crossed her mind, and that's the key, you exist in her thoughts. Without effort, her attention returns to you repeatedly, not forced, not planned, just naturally, and attention is the most valuable currency the brain gives. It doesn't invest it in what doesn't matter. Sign number 12, when she creates a world with just you in it. In social settings, people distribute their attention, they face the room, they engage with multiple people, but when attraction deepens, focus narrows. Watch how she positions herself. She subtly turns away from the environment. Angles her body toward you, almost like she's creating a small, private space, a pocket, where only the two of you exist. Her back may partially face the room, her shoulders form a quiet barrier, not aggressively, but intentionally enough to notice. This is her nervous system prioritizing. Everything else fades, you become the center of her attention. The truth most men never hear, all of these signals, they are not tricks, they are not techniques to manipulate, they are reflections. Windows into something deeper than words. And understanding them doesn't give you control over her, it gives you control over yourself, because once you see clearly, you stop guessing, you stop chasing, you stop performing, you begin observing, calmly, precisely, without desperation, and that is what changes everything. There's a quiet strength in understanding reality without needing to distort it, a kind of grounded awareness most people never develop. You don't need to force attraction, you don't need to create it, you only need to recognize when it's already there, and have the discipline not to ruin it with insecurity. The signals were always present, you just didn't know how to read them, now you do. So the question becomes, when the moment comes again, will you finally see it for what it is, or will you let it pass? Like you always have. If this changed the way you see people, then you're only scratching the surface. Subscribe now, because what you're about to learn next goes deeper than attraction, it goes into how the human mind actually works. In silence, in emotion, in moments most people completely miss, and if you're serious about understanding this game at a level most men never reach, stay here, because the next video will make you see everything differently.